Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's frequency meditation when life comes to you. And it's about really remembering something very simple. But most people forget as they grow older. When we are children, life often feels like it comes to us naturally. Friends just appear, ideas show up, moments unfold. And we don't feel like we have to hang on to moments or have to push everything forward for life to happen. But as we grow up, we slowly learn a different idea that life only works if we plan it, manage it, chase it, stay ahead of it. And over time, that idea turns into just a quiet pressure we carry everywhere, a feeling that everything depends on us doing the right thing at the right time. And so tonight's frequency meditation is about letting that pressure soften and feeling what happens when you realize that life already knows where you are. When you stop leaning forward into what's next and stand exactly where you already stand, life, higher self, universe, label it whatever you wish, it begins to meet you naturally. Moments arrive more clearly, choices feel lighter, and there's less effort in simply being here. So tonight, it's not about fixing your life or becoming someone new. It's really about letting your body remember what it feels like when life comes to you instead of you running towards it, or what it feels like when that connection from your higher self comes to you instead of seeking it. And there's mechanics in that. So as this space opens, there's nothing you need to prepare or change. The body already knows how to be here. Breathing's already happening. Awareness is already present. So tonight isn't about creating a special feeling. Actually, we will. Or reaching a certain state. Actually, we will. But it's about noticing, though. Most importantly, it's about noticing a position where we create ourselves from that has always been available. A position where life, where your higher self doesn't need to be chased or controlled to connect, but only met. From this place, timing begins to make sense on its own and effort naturally eases as life starts doing what it's always known how to do. So we'll bring you tonight into that position where you're not leaning forward. You're not bringing your past with you. You're just here right now, where that connection is the clearest, where you meet that connection instead of seeking it or trying to place this heavy burden on what you need to do, think to receive it. So as we take a deep breath in, and again, really feeling that air coming into your lungs, you and your lungs in your body, nowhere else. Coming to your sphere, that center point in your brain, noticing the left side of the brain, the right side of the brain, and how there's this perfect fusion in the center, and that's where you can just stay. It's the safest place, it's the most precise place you can render yourself from. Some refer to it as the third eye. It's not quite accurate, but and taking another breath in. And just letting your body settle into this position where it feels clearly here. Almost like you've gently arrived at a place where life already knows how to find you, where your timeless self already knows your location. We're just opening a simple awareness of being exactly where you are, allowing the body to rest into its own place and space, time. This quiet sense of weight being held by the surface beneath you, a feeling of support that doesn't require effort or attention. It's just there, always supporting you. And just bring your attention inside the body, noticing that breathing is already happening, and that actually this very moment exists without needing to be managed. It's like assigning you having that sense of having an address in the world, of being clearly located. Like standing still in a familiar place where others know how to find you. When awareness rests like this, now life, your timeless self, has somewhere to arrive. You're centered. And as this steadiness continues, that habit of leaning forward into the future starts to soften. Another deep breath in, noticing your spine, your whole spine, all 33 vertebrae. Just let your attention settle into the center of the body. That calm, grounded sense of presence here, now. Notice there's less checking, less scanning, less trying to stay ahead. A loosening. Time starts to feel more natural. Less rush, less heavy. And when we're here in the center, this position allows awareness to remain open rather than busy, like available, rather than watchful. It's very different. And life responds clearly to this orientation, approaching it in its own rhythm, meeting you where you already are. What happens is that then you get this relief, this growing recognition here that being here is enough. Nothing else needs to be added for life to find you. There's nothing else to do to have that connection with your timeless self. The body begins to trust this simplicity, recognizing that stillness, it doesn't stop life, it invites it. Life starts to feel closer, more reachable. Your timeless self feels closer, more reachable, more willing to meet you without effort because you're here. It's easier. Life doesn't bend to your destination. Your timeless self doesn't move from its center to meet you somewhere. Those are constant positions. Reliable, trustworthy. But as we humans have free will, that was part of the deal. We move out of this position. We're in future moments. past moments, other timelines, different realities. So the transmission's not clear. It's not centered in alignment. Taking a deep breath in. And when the transmission's not clear and it's distorted, we have to compensate. We have to try and figure it out. We have to take responsibility for how our misalignment has been reflected in density. So we spend all our time trying to fix what's already been created, instead of coming into position where there's a clear transmission. So just from this settled position right now, allow the body just to notice where it's been quietly holding responsibility that was never meant for us to carry it. That's the responsibility of our timeless self. So this awareness we bring in, awareness to the effort many people live with every day, the effort to decide correctly, to keep things moving, to stay on top of everything. Without analyzing or judging it, awareness simply just stays present in this moment as that effort begins to soften. There's no need to name it or fix it. But responsibility loosens its grip and gently returns to life itself where it belongs. And as this happens, there's a sense, as we breathe in right now, a sense of space opening in the body. Kind of like setting something down that has been carried for a long time. I know for myself on my journey, when I was in my young 20s, trying to take on the responsibility of stopping drinking alcohol, labeled at a very young age an alcoholic. A very disempowering process, trying to take on that responsibility myself without success. And it was only until I took the responsibility off me, I turned it over to life, turned it over to a higher power. And for me, I had that experience when I did that. I can recall the exact moment. Well, for me, it was like two boulders were lifted off my shoulders. They were there for so long, I wasn't aware of it. But I was aware once it was lifted. It's the same mechanics here. As we breathe in. And to this day, these boulders have never come back. Nor have I ever had a desire to have a drink. 35, whatever, 40 years coming up. 35, 37, it's a lot, doesn't matter. So as we take another breath in, And then in this position, life begins to come forward towards you instead of being pushed forward. Moments arrive more whole. Find your decisions feel clear without being forced. And that constant background pressure to keep things right eases. There's a frequency OCD. And this isn't about stepping away from life or caring less. It's about cooperation. Life carries its own timing, its own intelligence, its own movement, and awareness just remains here, present to meet what arrives. And the body recognizes this as familiar and relieving. Like remembering that you were never meant to do everything alone. We're not supposed to be orphans in the galaxy. And as we breathe in, what happens when you're here long enough, and it takes practice coming into your sphere, doing the movement from the sphere down the spine into the core of the earth, bringing these pure frequencies back up the spine to your center point sphere. What happens when we come here more and more frequently, it's like a path getting walked over more and more. It becomes a clearer path, an easier path to walk over. What happens there becomes a growing sense of trust. Trust that things can unfold without that constant effort, that constant supervision. That constant acceptance or denial of whatever it might be. So then there's trust that clarity arrives when it's needed. Trust that you don't have to push for life to respond. And this trust is quiet, it's steady, it's grounding, it's felt more in the body than in thought. Because it allows attention to relax and presence to deepen, embody. Making it easier to stay where you are while life continues to move all around you. And it's just we stay here right now where you are and allow the next moments to come to you rather than reaching out for them. We're coming into this position. And let's be in silence. Just stay here, stay in your sphere, the movement, the spine, just this moment, and observe. Observe what comes to you. Observe a clear transmission from your timeless self because you're in position. There's no need for distortions because you're in alignment. And just breathing in, coming back to this moment, and being aware that we only connect to life in this present moment right now. There's nothing to learn, there's nothing to graduate from, there's no secure future moment of that connection. It's only right now in what is only real, this present moment. So it's only this present moment we connect to our timeless self. No future moment. No, unlike what we have always been taught to graduate, and we just rest on our laurels, and that contact is always there regardless. That does come. But where everybody is right now on this call is stabilizing. Is walking that path in the present moment to that connection over and over again. Noticing without judgment, but noticing when we're in another point of time than the present, and then coming back. Noticing when we're in other timelines, and then coming back. And then there's nowhere to come back to because you never left. It's a process as we take a breath in. And just opening this experience of letting life arrive fully formed. Awareness. That awareness remains settled in the body as sounds, thoughts, sensations come and go naturally. There's no need to prepare for what's next. Each moment appears complete on its own, and this awareness in the present moment just meets it as it arrives. This is when with this position, our perspective shifts. Life feels friendly, responsive, as if it's moving towards you rather than being you managing it from the front. And as we return here time and time again, the space deepens. There's an ease in staying present. Life unfolds naturally. You become part of the movement. There's no desire to control it. You're connected to that super intelligence, that other intelligence that's orchestrating it all. And your body recognizes this rhythm as simple, steady, alive. Just noticing your inner environment right now, being aware of it, becoming familiar in this space. There's less effort in being here, more confidence in allowing life to continue approaching you in its own way, moment by moment, each moment whole. There's a quiet strength here in this position. Nothing needs to be rushed, nothing needs to be delayed. Life just arrives when it arrives, and awareness meets it without strain. And over time, as you practice, this way becomes familiar, something the body remembers even outside of meditating, being in a state. It's everyday life. It just becomes easier to stay where you are and let your timeless self do what it does best. Co-create a life beyond anything you can fathom. And stay here in this space. It's not so much what I'm saying, it's our position, space and time. So stay here, stay in your sphere, run the movement, and just observe what comes to you in this clear transmission that you have created. And with that, I'll see everybody next week.